morning and welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream. Moment of silence for, I just want to start off the stream with a moment of silence for, obviously it's September 11th, do want to give a moment of silence for that. Obviously remembering all the people who died on September 11th, big terror attack, obviously with the World Trade Center, and all the officers and, people that worked at the fire department and all the soldiers who died because of those wars after, whether you think they're just or unjust, they were just serving their country. And of course, for Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated yesterday, speaking at a rally in Utah. So quick moment of silence for both those events. And we'll talk about the market and then we'll elaborate a little more. It's kind of hard to be like all uppity and like, and happy today, because no matter what you think, we should be able to have open conversation and dialogue without getting shot based on words and your political views, right? So, moment of silence. Good morning, chat. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. The thing is, like, I have all these people, like friends and family, like, and these crazy lunatics celebrating his death. Look, I get you didn't like what he had to say. I get it. I understand. But like as Americans, and people are like talking about, they're using this to like, look at however you feel about gun control or however you feel about his views on, abortion or immigration or whatever. As Americans, we are supposed to have open dialogue to solve our problems. That's why we're not a dictatorship. We're supposed to be able to speak to each other and argue and fight through conversation in order to get to the truth of a lot of things. When you take someone out unfairly, it's like you just give away all your power. Like you're giving up. You can't win with words, so you kill a person to take them away unfairly. And I have all these people saying, "Oh, what about the people in Gaza?" Or, "Oh, live by the sword, die by the sword." The gun control. It's like, guys, what are we going to do? Go around and fucking take all the guns from people? What are we going to do? The bad guys are going to have them. What are you going to do? Like a guns for money exchange program? Like, what are we going to do? It's crazy. It's like when, Trump he was shot, but almost got assassinated. It's like, there's a thing about Americans where like, when you take something away unfairly, it just doesn't seem, it's like you're cheating. Right? If Trump would have got shot and we got another person as our president because it was taken away unfairly, like he was taken away unfairly, like that wouldn't, this is bad. Like this is really, really bad. And I see a lot of people celebrating and happy about it. It's like, and this post right here is like such a good post because I think we can all kind of relate to it, right? This guy says, "I will explain to you why the killing of Charlie Kirk pushes me to the right. He had the exact same views as my Trump supporting parents, who I love. He had the exact same views as half my extended family, just regular boomer conservatism, right? And thousands of leftists celebrating him being shot in the neck and bleeding out in front of his 3-year-old daughter and wife, by the way. If they want that for Charlie Kirk, they want that for my parents and my other loved ones. And I won't stand for it because I'm not a suicidal, spiteful mutant with hatred for my own family, my own parents, my own civilization. I love the people who raised me and I'm loyal to them. And I won't ally myself with people who want to murder them just because they have old-fashioned values that were completely common throughout 99% of modern history. I love a faith, family, church, and nation." It's kind of crazy. I don't agree with everything Charlie Kirk said, right? But I don't agree with anybody. A lot of people say. There's a lot of people I do not like. Do I want them dead and executed? Absolutely not. It's crazy that people are celebrating this. And the media has a lot to do with it because a lot of people are just dumb fucking idiots that are brainwashed. A lot of people that I grew up with are dumb fucking idiots that are brainwashed. It's just crazy to see people celebrating it. It's nuts. Yeah, let's just kill people because we don't agree with them. Yeah, let's just kill a lot. Let's just kill everyone. It's just crazy to me. Sorry, I had to go off on a tangent there. I know we have rates and stuff, interest rates to talk, or CPI data to talk about. Crypto's doing okay this morning. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. And this is the day chart of the crypto stuff. It's just hard to like, it's a big deal. Like I don't know him personally, but it's a huge deal to see someone just get fucking executed like that. Like And I knew right away when I saw the video, I didn't think he was going to make it. Like, I don't know. I kind of like watching gruesome stuff sometimes, or I just think it's interesting. I don't know. A lot of people think that's weird. Like, you know, I just think it's interesting to see. I just think all that stuff is interesting. War and just, I just think it's interesting. And when I saw the video up close, I'm like, oh, there's no way. There's no way. You know, it's just, you feel bad. You feel bad, you know, about the whole situation, you know? And yeah, absolutely. So obviously, you know, it's 9/11 today. It's September 11th. A lot of victims in 9/11, regardless of what you think and your conspiracy and those sorts of things. The truth is a lot of Americans, I think over 2,000 died, a lot of first responders and a bunch of people, you know, thousands, tens of thousands of soldiers, Marines and everybody, you know, service members died because of the wars after, you know, whether you think they're just, or I don't think a lot of those wars are just, or not, you know, are just, but you know, it's kind of a crazy situation here. You know, good morning, fam. How we doing? GM, Jayhawk #1 in the chat today. What's up, Jayhawk? Yes, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Javi. Good morning, good morning. Dr. MW says good morning. Good morning. What's up, Selma Foot? How we doing? How we doing? More than 12-ounce Charlie Kirk pump and dumps have created. What's up, Pepe? Good morning. Good morning. Alexandra G. Good morning. Good morning. Glenn to the Charlie Kirk thing shook me, and I to the core I cried. It's like I wasn't the biggest fan. Like even South Park took their episode down of him. You know, it's like it's just respecting people. You know, you want if you're celebrating someone getting assassinated in front of his daughter and his wife and all those people, it's like you're crazy, man. Who do I do not like? Elizabeth Warren or somebody, right, that I don't like. I would never want to see them get hurt ever. The people I despise the most in the crypto space or politically ever. Like, yeah, Elizabeth Warren and all these people that hate crypto, Gary, like these people that are definitely opposed to your views, like they have the right to speak their mind. We can talk shit back, right? But we don't want anything bad to happen to them because as an American, that's what we have to promote this free speech, man, you know, or we're just like every other country. So I don't know. Yeah, celebrating someone's death over different opinions is unhinged behavior. It's absolutely nuts. Yeah, motherfucker celebrating is sick. It's crazy. If not guns, they will use some other way to harm. I do believe, obviously, guns are like they're the most efficient form to hurt people, right? So I get the argument, but the things like you have to understand. Yes, our country isn't built on everything righteous. You know, a Dave Chappelle skit like always sticks out to me when. He says when they were writing the Declaration of Independence, like all men shall be created equal, but at the same time they had slaves, right? And slaves counted as like what 30% of a vote or something like that, you know. So that's kind of crazy. But some of the stuff our country was built on, like freedom of speech and the right to bear arms, and the right to bear arm was because be able to fight back against a tyrannical government. That's the point of it, right? And I don't know if people live in like a foo-foo, sunshiny ass place. That the world is brutal, man. Like people will take advantage of you if you let them. If you just understand history at all and how governments mass murder their own people, like if you understand what happened with Mao in China after World War II, what happened with Russia and Stalin around World War II, like those guys are responsible for way more deaths than Hitler. And Hitler was obviously an evil son of a bitch, right? Try to destroy an entire race of people, like systematically kill, his most meticulous, calculated killings ever. But if you understand like the Chinese like communist revolution and what happened in Russia, like governments will take advantage of you if you let them. If you give them too much, they can. You know, and that's the reason why we have the Second Amendment, is to be able to fight back. You know, I get it. You have some sick motherfuckers with guns, you know, but the truth is a lot of them don't get them, you know, legally. And it is kind of strange to see every other week some sort of school shooting. I know that is gnarly, you know, that is gnarly. So I get the argument, you know, I'm here for it. You know, I want to hear your opinion on it, you know, but you know, it's taking this time to be like, well, fucking told you so, gun violence, you know, fucking, you know, it's just like, it's kind of out of touch and cringe and whatever. All right, let me get to the crypto news, guys. I got to cover the crypto news. All right. So Bitcoin is looking pretty good today. It's going to be hard for me to fucking get through this fucking stream. I'm not going to lie, guys. So obviously Bitcoin breaking through my trend line, telling me to eat a big dick. doing its thing. Obviously, CPI data came out, and it came out as expected. So inflation rises to 2.9%. That's what we were expecting. No better, no worse. And apparently the market sees that as a good thing, at least for now. I did notice that on the hour chart, well, we're starting to recover a little bit, but earlier we were kind of all in the red. So we'll see what happens. But when it comes to interest rates, I think that 25 basis points may be priced in already. But I think the narrative for 50 basis points is still there. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be very, very interesting when it comes to the Federal Reserve and what they do. But obviously we got PPI data yesterday. And it was better than we expected. So I think that obviously the biggest arguments, obviously Jerome Powell, had when it came to not cutting interest rates, which we think is political, was for the tariffs. And it seems so far, I don't know how lagging the inflation would be from these tariffs if they're causing any. They're not showing up in any of these, right? So we'll see. Very, very interesting. But market's green. It's looking good. Broke my trend line. I have a position I'm about to get wrecked in here soon and a few $1,000s, but that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. But I did expect, and we still have a lot of September left. Remember, September historically bad for crypto. We'll see if the market starts to dump a little more. It could happen. I did mention yesterday there's some things like geopolitically we have to look out for. 2 days ago, Wednesday morning, or yesterday morning, was it Wednesday or Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday morning. We did see that Russia did launch a drone strike in Poland. Obviously, Poland's part of NATO. There's a whole Article 4 thing. If one of the NATO is attacked, everyone gets in there and defends that country. And I think that this is, and obviously, the United States is part of NATO, even though we've had our differences a lot lately with this administration, with NATO and stuff, because this administration thinks that NATO is not really not helping themselves up. They're really reliant on the United States when they should be more self-reliant. So we'll see there. But I think this is obviously Putin kind of testing the relationship and the strength of NATO right now. So that's very interesting. So that's big news, and that could be a domino effect. And obviously wars and stuff like that, uncertainty, bad for assets, and crypto could dump because of that. So I'm just putting that out there. I don't want to jinx it. I'm just putting that out there, just something to think about, something to keep in mind. It's important to pay attention to those things too. And so far, like all the news I've been watching, I haven't heard any more updates to that, but it wasn't like some accidental attack where we had some drones kind of just gingerly fly into Poland. It seemed like it was kind of planned. So very interesting. So that's a big thing to look out for. JP Morgan says institutional adoption for crypto is still in the early phases, which is nice to see. The SEC is delaying staking for BlackRock spot Ethereum ETF. So we did see that a little delay there. And for crypto news, I mean, honestly, we don't have a ton. I know that recently Avalanche has been a pretty big winner over the last 7 days. AVAX is looking pretty good, up a whole 16%. And Solana, I mean, a lot of things are looking hyper liquid, obviously dominating this cycle. I would say when it comes to just, altcoins. I mean, there's a lot of altcoins out there that are looking pretty strong. That's why maybe we're not having an altcoin season, you could say. And you could say that because we have a lot of mid caps that aren't doing anything. But remember, we had BNB hit an all-time high yesterday, right? Solana hit an all-time high earlier this year. Tron, too, within the last year. Hyperliquid. Sui looking pretty good. Avalanche, not even close to its all-time high. But we've had some altcoins pump and do some good things, right? Ethereum hit an all-time high. XRP hit an all-time high. BNB, Solana. So we've had these top altcoins do some good things. It's just, we're waiting on the Cardanos and the Polkadots and, Chainlinks and these other top altcoins, which, I think that, and I talk about this a lot. I think that just because something hit an all-time high during the last cycle doesn't mean it'll hit those numbers again. But what we're really waiting for is like mid-cap altcoins to do some insane things, or like, meme coins to do some insane things. And with that being said, we do have some memes that are performing really well over the last week. Obviously, Meme Core, newest of the top meme coins and pretty much dominating. And then obviously SPX up another 30% over the last week, which is pretty good, right? When it comes to top meme coins, you have Pepe looking pretty good over the last 7 days. And people think meme coins are silly. I get it, but they're part of the crypto space. I mean, Dogecoin is only 5 years younger than Bitcoin, right? Or 4 years. That's pretty big deal, right? Now things are different during this cycle. I think the reason why we had a massive meme coin run, of course, in 2021 had a lot to do with Elon Musk. I'm not sure if Dogecoin would have been the same if it wasn't for Elon Musk and Tesla and meme stocks and that whole weird kind of culture we had in 2021 that we're not really seeing a lot this year, at least not that in that way. We're seeing like the pump fund kind of meme phase, which Hey, Pump Fund, man, looking really good. I mean, Pump Fund, honestly, had me in the first half. I mean, maybe in the third quarter, because I mean, they looked pretty bad when they launched their token. They didn't do an airdrop and those sorts of things. And now they're looking, they've been looking pretty good recently. You know, but Bitcoin says, fuck my trend line. It's pumping and looking pretty good. Now, like I said before, there's a lot of geopolitical stuff you should pay attention to. Like, I think the wars and stuff, like, I don't know, a lot of moving pieces are happening. Obviously the whole Venezuela situation and, China, celebrating 80 years past World War. I don't know if you guys saw the big commie parade, celebrating 80 years since World War II. It just feels like the other nations are flexing their might. And I did watch a Clear Value, I think it's called Clear Value Finance. I'm not sure what it was, but I thought this was interesting. I think it's called Clear Value. Yeah, it's an Asian guy, right? I watch him a lot. I don't know why I don't know his Clear Value Tax. Yeah. So this Asian guy, he made a pretty good video yesterday. If you guys don't watch this guy, it's pretty good content. I mean, this guy was calling, crypto. He was pretty much predicting crypto to dump before the rest of the mainstream media did. And that's when I learned, or mainstream crypto media. That's when I learned you really have to pay attention to people outside the crypto space to understand what's going on in the crypto space, because a lot of people just give you hopium. But he kind of predicted the crash and inflation and those sorts of things. But he made this video yesterday talking about the dollar crisis. The world is dumping dollars and buying gold, right? We're in an interesting time right now. I've been learning a lot about just economics and stuff like that. And when you look at like the devalue, the dollars, you could say the devaluing of the dollar, right? Because there's no gold standard in 1971. I think it was Nixon, right? Made it so we could pretty much print money endlessly, right? And back in the day, or maybe even recently, a U.S. government bond was like an IOU, right? It's better, the U.S. government owing you money is like, that's better than anything because it's the most powerful economy in the world. But a lot of people are dumping the dollar for gold. And that's why we've been seeing gold hit all-time highs lately. Like the last week, it's hit an all-time high like 4 or 5 times, which is kind of crazy, right? And obviously we're $37 trillion in debt. With this big, beautiful bill, we're not going to get ourselves out of debt. Even with the tariffs, we're not going to get ourselves out of the debt. Even with gold cards for immigrants to pay $5 million to become a United States, we're not going to get ourselves out of debt. It seems like we're past the point of no return. And like, how did the ancient Roman Empire fail? I mean, it wasn't because of, it was because of a lot of different things, like what Germanic tribes, like when you look at like the history of the ancient Romans, we talk about like the Germanic tribes and those sorts of things. But it was really like, a big part of that was their currency becoming less and less an actual currency, right? Then it was called the denarius, right? Their currency, and over time it became less and less like pure silver. I think it was. I don't know what metal it was, but and it just seems like the United States is, even with healthy inflation, right? It's 2% every year, healthy inflation, right? The government still wants 2% every year. That's like healthy, right? And if you look at some historical, like maybe some nations who suffer from hyperinflation the most, and obviously it's not hyperinflation, but that suffer from the most. You think of like Zimbabwe, and you think of Argentina recently, and you think of like Germany after World War I. And it's just like, it's just kind of a scary situation, but it is true, man. I mean, we see a lot of things going on geopolitically, right? And I think right now the United States military is kind of stretched thin, right? We have a bunch of people in Southern America. And the reason why we're going so aggressively after Venezuela is because of the fact that we don't want a major friend, like a major ally in our hemisphere, right? We don't want Venezuela, who's buddy with China and Russia, in our hemisphere. So I don't know. It's a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'll be thinking about these sorts of things. I don't know, may call me crazy, but I'm sitting here thinking about it all. It's something to pay attention to, right? But it's kind of one of those things where, uncertainty could pump Bitcoin because a lot of people are looking for assets, even if they're risky, because crypto is a risky asset. That's a risk on asset. That's what people classify it as, even though we don't think that because we're fucking plebs. We believe in crypto. But, gold and Bitcoin, hey, could be risky, but we like it, right? And that could be a hedge against inflation. So, hey, if you're on the sidelines this cycle, get off the side, get in the game, tap in. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, baby. Get in the game. Get some Bitcoin. You don't need a whole one. You can have $1, you can have $10, you can have $20, whatever you got. Maybe don't get Chipotle today. Maybe don't fucking go see a movie. You know, I don't know. Spend $40 in Bitcoin. You don't need a whole one. Just get some. You know, only 21 million are ever going to be made ever. Institutions are buying it up right now. Now, I do think that if we have a major capitulation event, if Bitcoin dumps, it's going to be because institutions are saying, fuck you, I'm selling my Bitcoin and dumping on us, right? I don't really think that the way we see crypto is the way a lot of other people see crypto, or institutions at least. I think they see it as an opportunity to make money because it's the best performing asset ever, right? And you know, in 2017, 18, BlackRock, who manages 10 plus trillion dollars, you know, they were coming out and dunking on crypto and calling it a scam and stuff like that. And I do have to agree that the coverage of crypto wasn't the best back then, obviously, you know, when it, you know, all these Silk Road things and money laundering and stuff like that. They are, you know, they did come to their senses and realize that, hey, we want to make money too. So, and if things are looking bad and they want to dump, they're going to dump that too. You know, they take their profits and stuff like that and make out like bandits, you know, so. You know, one second here, hold on. I heard Michael Saylor's, if he died, he finna burn his Bitcoin. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Michael Saylor. You know what I mean? I don't know. Kind of shady to me sometimes, but I fuck with him. But you know. What's up, Barcelona? How we doing? Sorry if I seem a little off today, guys. Just so sad, man. You shouldn't be getting killed for your views. You know what I mean? But yeah, CPI data came in. So I want to let you guys know what I want to let you guys. I want to hear your opinions. Do you guys think that 50 basis points is on the table right now? Because you know, before obviously this huge tragedy we had, you know, yesterday we got PPI data, right? Or was it CPI? PPI data, right? And give me 1 second here. And yeah, yesterday we got PPI data, and it was pretty good, lower than expectations. And then, you know, obviously Donald Trump came out and was dunking the fuck on Jerome Powell, as he always does, and says that we need, you know, we need to raise them. We need to lower them aggressively. You think, and we should have had a few already, so maybe we're going to make up for all of those. But then we got CPI data that came in as expected today. What do you guys think? You guys think it's 50 basis points? You guys think it's 25 basis points? What do you guys think? How aggressively do you think we're going to cut rates? I think we're going to cut rates. The odds are still pretty high, obviously, but we just don't know, like, how much. And are they priced in, you know? Let me see. I tried to start trading gold, and then I realized it's extremely difficult, and you can get trapped really quickly. Yeah, I mean, trading anything. Trading's tough. You know, even some of the best traders that I watch online, like, they lose a lot, you know? Like, they have so many different, like, indicators, and they have so much experience, and man, some of them get wrecked. It's a tough world trading. The franchise says no way it's 50. You don't think so? I could see that. Especially after today's data. Like we were talking about yesterday, that if today, like if we had a CPI data come out and it was like really good, then, you know, maybe we'd get 50 basis point, but it'll be interesting. Gold's in these crazy trends that last a long time. Yeah. Well, like I said, it's a good video to watch. It's just good to, you know, if you want to just get tapped in with some of the stuff going on, like he talks about the jobs reports and tax refund surge ahead, you know, and U.S. debt crisis. But he talked about how the world is dumping dollars and buying gold. You know, no one wants American bonds anymore. No one wants any IOUs from the American government anymore because, you know, and it doesn't mean everything's all peachy, happy, fun time, sunshine, rainbows. And with other countries, they have their own problems, you know, but I think that's interesting, right? Obviously, precious metals. I still think, let me put on my tinfoil hat, that we're going to discover gold on another planet. And it's going to be like less valuable here. You know, I think yesterday they said they discovered signs of life on Mars, like actual legit. I don't know if this is real, but I guess this is the real NASA. Yeah. So after a year of scientific scrutiny, a rock sample collected by a Perseverance rover has been confirmed to attain a potential biosignature. The sample is the best candidate so far to provide evidence of ancient microbial life on Mars. Ooh, spooky aliens. And this is like the actual account. So that's pretty cool. Let me follow this account. That's pretty cool. I mean, dude, the galaxy has to be bigger than us. You guys understand like how crazy it is that we even exist? It's nutty, bro. You know, Mars as in your birthplace, man. Shut up. Kind of spooky. Ooh, aliens. You know, people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death is fucking crazy, dude. So nuts. Nuts, man. Life expensive out here, bro, but everybody can buy a new iPhone. Yeah, you know, when you think about it, like our quality of life is pretty good. I mean, it's just think about like the advancement of like just like civilization in general. Like we're living in some pretty good times. You know, like back in the day, you died from like a paper cut in the common cold. You know what I mean? People are getting clapped. That's why people have so many kids, is because half of them would fucking die. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like now, like people are living forever. Yeah. I like the whole simulation theory. That'd be crazy, bro. That'd be crazy. We're definitely not alone. I think we're aliens. You think we're aliens? I mean, we are kind of some aliens. We're aliens to somebody. I think you have to be crazy to think we are the only beings to exist. Yeah, wait, I'm waiting for another motherfucker to visit us, and hopefully they're nice, because I don't think whatever weapons we can hit them with, if they can get here, they probably have good weapons, right? They probably all look like Jayhawk, you know, like really bad dreads, you know. Respecting life is the foundation for Western civilization. When you murder, you are the problem. Exactly. Yeah, that is the truth. Say it again. Right? No, 100. I agree. Some guy took his views about Kirk on FB on a chat, and he immediately got cooked. And a marked man from now. A lot of people are getting exposed as celebrating a murderer. I mean, celebrating like somebody, like it's crazy. A lot of people are getting exposed, and I get it. It's kind of a Karen situation. You know, I get it, but like when you're reporting, because people are getting actually are exposed and stuff like that. You know, it's not. You know, I think part of it to believe. So part of this, like, people to blame is the media, because media makes it sound like fucking like Trump and these guys are like the second coming of Hitler and like Nazi Germany. Like they really run with that narrative, and people really believe it. Like, think about it. If you're like a person, like a regular person, probably a little fucking nutty, you probably hate yourself, and you hear this on the news, you probably think, man, if I can go back in time and stop Hitler, I'd be a hero. You know, and you have some crazy motherfuckers that really believe this shit. You know, it's just, you know, it's crazy. You have some lunatics out there, guys. Like the media, man, has to watch what they say. It's crazy. You know, it's crazy. You have some crazy motherfuckers out there. Whether you agree or disagree with someone's opinion, you should never celebrate a murder. I know, it's crazy. Imagine, yeah, person. It's like, dude, they have a family. You know, I have friends and family who are just like absolute raging liberals, like crazy motherfuckers. And look, I'm like not the crazy I'm not the craziest conservative. I think that when it comes to abortion, honestly, I don't really care that much. And I'm being honest. You know, if you want to fucking murk your baby and you think it's not a fucking life form, whatever, you know. There's some things I really believe in, you know, and I don't believe in, you know, it's kind of a spectrum. But I wouldn't want to fucking like anybody get hurt or like die. You know, like, don't you have friends and family who don't believe the same? You want them to die? You want somebody to die in front of their kid, man? That's crazy. It was so brutal too, watching that. Brutal. And I knew right away, like I said before, I knew right away when he got shot, he was dead. Like, you don't survive that. And like his like whole body shut down at the same time. It wasn't like a, you know, it's too much crypto to talk about besides all this sad shit. Let's talk exit and timing. Yeah, it's probably good. Probably a good thing. I don't know. I feel like people want to talk about it. It's probably good to talk about it and not hold it in, you know? Did you hear anything from what an idiot from CBS was saying? Yeah, almost saying that he kind of deserved it. No one deserves it. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying some crazy shit. Think of the person you hate most, that you disagree with most. You're like, I fucking hate that person. Who? Who can you think of in the crypto space or just in general? You want them dead? You're probably fucked up, and it's fine, but like you're fucked up. You know, nobody supports abortions till you get a fat chick pregnant. That's funny. You know, that's actually pretty funny. Nobody supports abortion till you get a fat chick pregnant is a crazy line. It's a crazy line. Jesus fucking Christ. It's crazy work, bro. I get it though. No, I see what you mean though. God damn. To get a fat chick pregnant is crazy. You know, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's good to talk about it instead of hold it in. But guys, yeah, Bitcoin pumping. I don't know. It's hard to talk about it. God damn, I'm fucking traumatized a little bit. Fuck. Here's a video of Charlie Kirk talking about crypto, though. Oh, my bad. Hold on. My bad. Sorry. I am kind of retarded. Hold on. Let me see window. All right. Huh? Tire screen. Ah, there it is.
Are you pro crypto? I've never seen you talk about crypto. Yeah,
very pro crypto.
You got some Bitcoin?
I actually have better stuff than that. I am a significant investor in the plumbing of how crypto is made.
Really?
So I won't say any more than that, but done some good private equity deals in the actual back end on the technology of actually blockchain on how all these coins go public. Now, not Bitcoin itself, but of all the other types of coins. And so if you are long on crypto, I encourage people to understand that there is a needed multi-billion-dollar infrastructure that needs to be there to actually for all these coins to be able to go through process, to be made public, to go through ICOs. But yes, I'm very pro crypto, and I got some coins.
Are you pro crypto? I've never seen you talk about.
That was pretty nice. We can hear now. Hey, I got a problem. All these YouTubers are copying same news and predictions when so many coins that no one talked about. You know, I mean, there's a ton. Yeah, I mean, we talked about a few, right? XVM did pretty good, like over like 1,300% or some shit. There's
crypto. Yeah.
I mean, I've shared some good plays here. I just don't want you guys to get wrecked, right? Like, I don't know. I shared some good memes with you guys and some products that did pretty good if you're following me on X. Like there's some good products that you probably made a bag with, you know. Give your boy a follow on X. You know, I post about stuff sometimes, but I don't show a lot of stuff, but there's plenty of stuff, right? But you know, it's like one of those timing things. Like if I talk about something and you get in late, like you didn't get in when I posted it, like you're probably gonna get wrecked a lot of the time, you know. So we've had some good plays over the last week or two. So, you know, launch a new one. No, the other one wasn't even like a planned launch. It was just something I wanted to do. I was bored at the time. It was a bear market passion project. It ended up not working out so well and costing me a lot of money. And I give my hats off to any developer who actually puts money into a project because that shit is expensive. I just didn't do it right. I made a lot of mistakes. If I did it again, it'd be different. I think it'd be more successful this time, but you know. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. It's not guns, bombs, knives, poisons. What you gonna ban everything? Yeah, I get it. Like not having a gun would make it harder. But the truth is, like I said before, like we're Americans, and this is what our country's built on: freedom of speech and the right to bear arms. You know, in the event that we have a tyrannical government, like I said, you can't give your government too much power, guys. There's plenty of examples throughout history where governments have killed their own people for different ideologies. Like if we're armed, it's harder for a government to be tyrannical, and you can't trust your government all the time. Does anybody trust the government 100%? You shouldn't. They lie to us all the time. You know, they tax the fuck out of us. They lie to us all the time about things. You know, it's so there's so like we cannot give them the power. And guns are like weapons, and arming ourselves is a way to fight back against that. You know, it's just crazy. I get it that guns, you know, it makes it easier for people. I get it. There'd be less killings if no one had guns. I do understand that. And it does seem like every other fucking week there's some sort of fucking shooting, which is crazy to me. but what are we going to do? Not going to lie, this is my first cycle and I got absolutely wrecked at the start. I just now started to really understand crypto, the way the cycles moves. I will make it next cycle. I'm determined. Let's go. You still have time to make it this cycle. I'd say like the best thing for people getting into crypto right now is to really lock in on like not buying a bunch of shit all the time. If you were slowly, buying Bitcoin, you'd probably be okay, or other cryptos. I say go 80-20, 80 into like safe, tried and true plays, safe, nothing safe in crypto, and 20% being a degenerate gambler, I get it. You want to make a ton of money. It looks like the market is flipping red right now, but you want to make a ton of money, but you gotta be patient. Frank the Tank says, good morning, Papi Chulo, with the $5. Frank, thank you so much for like the 20,000th $5 donation. I think it's like your 6th or 7th day in a row with $5. Thank you so much, even though you're kind of gay for me. I appreciate that, Papi Chulo. De nada, Papi. I appreciate you, bro. I just became profitable recently with intraday trading. There it is. I mean, I think part of the thing too is like getting your feet wet, right? Just being in it and understanding how things work. Get in on Bitcoin 100K and ride it to 200K. That's like getting Bitcoin at 0.01. Yeah, absolutely. Wait, where's Kayla at? Kayla, GM, how we doing, guys? If you're watching this over on YouTube, can you please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel? If you're watching over on X, make sure to like, repost, all that good stuff. Frank is definitely a Wandy. Is that a Wandy? No way. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for $5, bro. You paid for my coffee this morning. Even though I've been making coffee at home recently. Well, the last 3 days. I can't act like I've been not. Dude, Postmates, I wish I wasn't allowed to use I wish it was a federal offense for me to use Postmates. It was a hunting rifle, and the way to ban that, plus someone that is looking to kill someone does not follow gun laws. That's what I'm saying. What are you gonna do? Take all the guns from all the people, It's just impossible, bro. You ain't taking my guns, brother. You ain't taking my rifles. You know what I mean? She's a beauty, though. Look at that. Beautiful, I'm not gonna go fucking shoot somebody. I'm not crazy, We understand American culture is different, I did see some posts saying we're not gonna have the fucking World Cup in America. It's not that crazy, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people do get these guns legally, that is true. Sorry, they're replacing the power lines here, so I got no electricity. Hey, Kayla tapping in with no Wi-Fi. Hey, that thing is mid, dude. That's a sick weapon. Look at, I get it, Jayhawk. You have better. Jayhawk has a fucking arsenal. Nobody messes with Jayhawk. I've seen the pictures. This guy has an absolute. I'm not like an enthusiast. I'm not an enthusiast. But a few is good to have. Arrow precision is low tier foo. It's actually not that bad. It's good. It's mid tier. It's not low tier. Motherfucker, it's your fault. You said. I'm not like a huge enthusiast. I have a few. I have 2 rifles and 1 small guy. What the hell is a Wandy? I got some nice pieces too. Barcelona, Jayhawk. Get together. Just study history a little bit, The scary part is that all this is, if crazies go from the left, keep doing this, the gloves will come off on the right. The rules will go out the window. It's just lunatics, right? They're just lunatic, crazy motherfuckers just killing people. Like, what are you going to do about all the inner city gun violence, like with gangs and like minorities? What are you going to do about that? Hey guys, everybody turn your guns in. Sure. Hey guys, we're taking the guns away from everybody. Brad, I know Brad is too. Brad and Jayhawk, you guys should hang out. Rodney travels too much to have a whole ass arsenal like you, Jayhawk. Probably. That's too much. Yeah. Yeah. Literally one gun is a whole trip somewhere, or at least a plane ticket, depending on where you're going, I guess. I got 2 guns, 1 rifle in every car in the truck, and 3 at work. If someone gets me, it's definitely Rodney or Kayla. BCM and Giselle is mid tier. Arrow is practically PSA. Anderson, I don't even know what that is, but all right, guys, roasted me for my guns. Okay, they go pew pew. Okay, they shoot. Okay, they're fine. I suppose if I was in like a crazy firefight and it failed on me, but all the reviews I watched, they're pretty decent weapons to have, Selma Fudd with the 36 months. Go Brown says, I dedicate this milestone chat to the heroes and victims of 9/11, gone but not forgotten. Yes, absolutely, Selma Fudd. We did a moment of silence at the beginning of the stream. Appreciate you, Selma Fudd. And thank you so much for 36 months, brother. I do appreciate you. I do appreciate, even though you come off a little unhinged sometimes when you're lit off the cognac. I feel like Selma Fudd wears like a pimp hat and like a purple suit and just sips cognac, you know? Just crypto rich. You know what I mean? Like a brother, like Brother Johnson, you know, brother, you know? Just keep it lewd, Rodney. A good grease. I do. This is why you guys are my favorite people. You guys are my favorite people. The hell you mean, you guys? I always keep it lubed, for the record. All right, let's see how crypto is doing. Are we dumping? Yeah, it looks like crypto is dumping a little bit right now. Bitcoin's like, oh, no. I guess we flipped a little bit red line. I'd say nothing's really happening. I saw an interview with Ray Dalio. He talks about how life cycles work along with market cycles. Not going to lie, it blew my mind. History so repeats and rhymes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about history and guns, man. Remember the Roman Empire was popping for a long time, guys. Long time. No, they'll still run reliably, just not mid tier. Rodney, we need to get you a good SR15 with those crypto wins. Guys, I don't need anything crazy, you know? I'm just lurking, and a sad day as a Canadian. 9/11 opened my eyes to see how the world really works. It's crazy, yeah. His name is Charlie Kirk. I feel safe when zombies come out and know where to go at least. My SR15 was life-changing. Didn't know what a good AR was until I got mine. Well, keep in mind, guys, I was in the National Guard, and I used standard-issued military M4s. Arrow's got to be better than that, right? Join mid-tier snobs on Facebook. I'm not that into it, guys. I don't have a genuine interest in it. I can pretend like I do, but I don't. And I really don't. What else do we have going on here? Kaylee, you better make it depends what kind of. Yeah. Let me know what you guys are doing on 9/11. Yeah. So I was in 5th grade. I was 11, I think. Yeah, I was in 5th grade, and I remember we were selling candy bars to go to. This is crazy. This is like how my childhood. I used to I lived in a trailer at this time. I'll tell you 2 events that happened around this time. But the day on 9/11, I remember that I went to school. And everybody, you're 11, so you don't know what the fuck's going on. You know, I don't know what's going. I don't know. You know what's going on. But you don't really know what's going on. And I just remember my teachers being sad and whatnot. And I remember them rolling in the TV to watch the news. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how we got cable. I'm still confused on that. Did we watch? Did I watch it at home, or did I watch it? Did I watch it at school? I remember the teacher rolling in something. But I do remember at the time, I was selling candy bars to go to camp, like 5th grade camp or 6th grade camp, something like 5th grade camp. And I went to Mendoza Middle, and I was there for like a month or so. Not that long. I moved around. I've been to 10 schools a lot as a kid. I moved around a lot. But I remember at the time, my mom's like boyfriend's brother like borrowed my money that I got from selling chocolates, and we never paid it back to the school. He just like kind of stole my money. At the time, my mom and her sister got arrested at the border. This happened like weeks before for smuggling illegal immigrants across the border. I swear to fucking God. And look, this is how I learned. I came home from school and no one was there. I was like, my sister wasn't there. My mom wasn't there. And I was kind of freaking out. My mom's kind of like anyways, her boyfriend from the smoke shop comes over, which is down the street, and says, hey man, your mom's in a little bit of trouble, so she's not going to come home till like tomorrow. And I was like, what? I'm like 11 at home, wondering where everybody's at. I'm by myself in the trailer. And it turns out they got arrested at the border. And this is back in the day when like you could sneak illegal immigrants across and like get a fine. And like, that's it, you know, but it was crazy. Yeah. Ghetto ass childhood. I know. I'm fucking. Cause you're lame. Tesla and Starbucks. Oh, so exciting. Yeah. Well, I don't sit here and geek over coffee and Teslas all day, but with a head like that, I bet your memories start in the womb. Okay. I was in junior high school. I woke up to watch the second plane hit live. Oh, geez. I don't remember too much. I just remember everybody being sad. I do remember that. And everybody getting war ready. And I do remember, though, looking at, even because I was a kid, that everybody was like starting to look at people from the Middle East a little different. I remember going to my liquor store, and which is ironic, but like being like, oh, not that I had any hatred, but I just remember like it was a different time for them. Yeah, I remember they got vandalized, a lot of hate. I'm 3 hours from NYC. I went there 2 weeks after 9/11. I'll never forget. There were hundreds and hundreds of missing posters everywhere. It was chilling. Ah, man. You were in 5th grade too. Hey, Jack and I are the same name. Didn't close school. In fact, my school was Hanford High School, right next to Hanford Nuclear Site, and they still kept that shit open. God damn. What's up, Priest? How we doing? Good morning. Good morning. Jesus pronounced Jesus. Jesus, yeah, Jesus. I had a best friend growing up named Jesus. Jesus. He's still my best friend, but one of my best friends. But yeah, market's flipping red, guys. Altcoin starting to dip a little bit. I thought the world was ending that day, so I said, "Fucking grab my teacher's ass." I've been lurking. Oh my god, have you always been a sex offender? You know. I walked into one of my college buildings that morning with everyone in shock, then saw it on TV. Classes were canceled. Man. I just remember like everybody was sad, you know, because I was 11. Everybody was sad at the time. I was like, why is everybody so sad? Dumbass kid, you know, we don't know. Yep, bad week for me, Law. I was goated amongst the class, though. Hey, and you're like a kid. What are you going to do? It's funny when you're a kid, like sometimes you get in trouble and you'd be like, damn, this is a big deal. But as an adult, you're like, dude, kids can do anything and not get in trouble. Right? You know what I mean? Not really getting consequences, you know, have any consequences for their actions. All right, let's see if there's any more crypto news. Let me scour the X real quick, even though X is really just all Charlie Kirk stuff right now. Yeah, I have like no crypto. Let me see if Watcher Guru has anything. I don't think there's anything new though, guys. I think I covered it all pretty much. You guys are just popping in. You can feel free to go back to the beginning of the. Oh, we did get some new CME odds, or at least Polymarket, which is better, I think. So Polymarket has an 88% that they cut rates by 25 basis points. So. There's so many Charlie Kirk coins. And, you know, I'm a degenerate and usually like I bought like the whole racist one, but I couldn't find it in my soul to even talk about it. I mean, I posted this today. I said, I'm usually all for degeneracy, but I think pump users should sit this one out. This is before we found out he passed away. Charlie Kirk's dog, Charlie Kirk's shooter, even though that wasn't the guy, Charlie Kirk's survivor, Charlie Kirk, those sorts of things. Can you help me understand what BTBT is? Is it backed by ETH? What do you mean? What do you mean, Kayla? I got to see, I'll look it up right now. I got to see a lot of crazy shit as a kid. I remember them wheeling in a TV to class when Columbine happened. Dude, Columbine was crazy. That happened in 99, right? I was 9. Let me see. No, they didn't get the actual guy. No, they did not. The sexy ass granny says, yikes, my daughter was in 4th grade during 9/11. Rodney, I'm old enough to be your mom. Well, you are a sexy ass granny. Selma Fudd, sexy ass granny. Let me see. What else do we have here? BT. I'll look that up for you. BTBT. What is BTBT? BTBT stock. Bit Digital Inc. BTB fails to secure quorum for new share issuance by Ethereum to buy Ethereum, leaving company in limbo ahead of September 17th. BTB fails to secure quorum in a vote that issues new shares for Ethereum purchases, letting their expansion plans. Institutional interest in Ethereum remains high despite governance challenges and failed that. So I guess they're having some sort of like, oh, it's a mining firm already among the largest ETH holders. Whenever the token revisit plan to expand treasury. So I guess they had a vote to expand their treasury. But I guess it's a mining firm. So I guess they voted internally to get more Ethereum. Maybe the failed votes comes at a time when Ethereum-focused digital asset trusts are trading below their net asset value, potentially creating opportunities for institutional buyers. Yeah, so obviously the institutional interest is in Ethereum right now, and maybe they had an internal vote that maybe they wanted to get more Ethereum or invest more in Ethereum, and maybe like their, I guess, shareholders or whoever is voting didn't want to. And they're trying to get in before, I guess, the rest of the institutions flip to Ethereum. And I think you're starting to see that everywhere, that a lot of people are starting to flip to Ethereum, yeah. Is it Bitmine? So it moves with ETH price? I would think so. I think so. I wouldn't say it moves exact with ETH price, but wait, did they actually get the guy? No, they didn't get the guy. No. Sexy ass Granny, I can see your resemblance between you and Rodney. What are y'all talking about? I think seeing all these crazy events as a kid contributed to my leave me the fuck alone attitude, waiting on the cabin in the woods, and my huge gun collection. You never have enough Solana. I agree. When is the next Jerome Powell announcement? We have interest rate cuts here coming up. Announcement soon, very soon. We had the CPI data come out today, and it was as expected. PPI data was good, but and yet that's why we were talking about yesterday that interest rate hikes we could interest rate cuts we could see like more than 25 basis points. But right now I think 25 basis points is probably what we're going to get. I mean, who knows, right? I think that was the other factor on the table with deciding whether or not Ethereum was going to pump or dump. Oh, and Jake's calling me. Nigga, I'm streaming 11 to 12 every day. This nigga forgot. You never have enough Solana. Thank you for looking into it. I got you, Caleb. It seems like they want to buy more ETH, but is BTB Bitmine? If it's Bitmine, then that's Tom Lee's company. I don't think it is, because they've been hard in the ETH, and maybe institutional interest is. I think it is. You should check out Alex Jones' take on X about Kirk's. It's a 51-second video if you have time. I guess we could watch that. That nigga said, fuck your stream. All right, 1 second. I'm seeing a lot of conspiracy theories. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I just think that, I don't know.
Look, folks, I'm not somebody that cries easily. I was sitting in this parking lot.
Here, guys. You know what? 51 seconds. Oh, the airport thing. I did see that. Obviously, like their brand is conspiracy theories. I did see that. I've been like really tied to the situation. I don't know if it's 51 seconds, but
to sing Kumbaya and light a candle. You know what happens if you sing Kumbaya and light a candle? The leftists attack you.
I just don't like making. This stuff doesn't make me feel good. It just pisses me off, dude. I just can't, dude. It just pisses me off. I can't see people sitting there saying, "Oh, he's dead. He deserved to die." It's like, it's crazy to me. I'll watch it on my own time. Give me 1 second, guys. Be back. All right, I'm back. No more uwu gay shit. Send everything. All right, uwu. Yeah, no more. No, I agree. Saying he deserved to die is crazy. Yeah, a lot of people are nuts, bro. Fucking nuts.
Charlie Kirk, who I knew many.
Some people are nuts. I know there's a lot of conspiracies going out there. I just don't fucking. Maybe it is maybe it's just some guy. I know the country's not really batting 1,000 when it comes to lying to us about major events. And there's a lot of stuff going on. Recently, Israel fucking shot missiles in Qatar, which could, if you guys know anything about Qatar, Qatar is like a neutral place where people get together and like hash things out, and they were kind of like mediating the negotiations, and Israel decides to shoot missiles at Qatar, which is fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Israel wilding the fuck out, dude. I need to chill the fuck out, you know? God damn, you know? Jesus Christ. Motherfucker's fucking wilding over there, bro. You know? To kill, like, I think Hamas leaders and stuff like that. It's like, Jesus Christ. My guy. Exactly, DB Walker. No one deserves to die. Like I said in the beginning of the video, like it's an American value to be able to have freedom of speech and be able to argue. Like think of the person you hate the most and you disagree with. You want them dead? If you do, you're a sick motherfucker, right? You don't get to just kill someone because you disagree with their opinions. It's crazy. And celebrating it, it's crazy to me. Not the news I wanted to hear today, so maybe having no electricity is a good thing. Yeah, probably. Wish I clipped the uwu. You can still clip it. My crypto space UK says, bro, it's so sad what happened yesterday. I cried. I don't care. Peace and love, people. Please stop killing. I agree. People do not value life. I don't get it. Yeah. His wife and daughter. Can you imagine how traumatized his daughter is going to be forever? I'm more inclined to believe that the leaked DOJ document, especially after being involved in the gun industry and knowing how the ATF works and seeing a press conference coordinate most of the leak. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. People are saying that it was like a Mossad agent because Charlie Kirk was starting to speak out against Israel. I just think that a lot of people didn't like him and some people wanted him dead. How do you handle grief when it comes your way? What do you do? I don't know. I'm not good at it. I really just internalize it. You know, I'm actually not good at it. You know, for a lot of different things in my life, I am not good at it. You know, I'm not good at getting it out. I should, you know, I am talking to people these days. So I am trying to handle a little different, not grief, but just life in general. But man, it's tough. You know, I mean, if you know, life is fucking precious, man. You know, and as we get older in age, more and more people are going to die for different reasons, you know, so. And if you think about it, like, you know, as you get older, your life becomes a smaller percent. A year becomes a smaller percentage of your life, and like literally, like, you know, that's why they fly. That's why our perception of like a year, you know, is faster and faster every year, is because it's a smaller percentage of your life. It's like when you're 10 years old or 15 years old or 20 years old, like a year is so much of your life, you know. But when you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, like a year is like a less, you know, a portion of your life. And like I'm halfway to 70, which is crazy. Like damn, you know, like 70 is like fucking frail. You know, I know some 70-year-olds out there that are chads, but most 70-year-olds are frail. Like fucking the wind blows you down. You know what I mean? So just, you know, appreciate it. Appreciate your life. Seeing meme coins created in order to profit from Kirk is an honest showcase of how dirty the space is. A cesspool. It's a cesspool. Yeah. Now, the DOJ leaks specified that they found the rifle at the woods and engraved casing that the ATF traced back to a trans dude. I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. But I don't know how legit some of this information is. There's a lot of information. I mean, they arrested like 2 different guys who weren't the guy. So I just want to wait till we get the guy. If we get the guy, I think they will. Though, trust me, this is the highest priority right now out of anything going on. Right. What's truly humbling is knowing your great grandkids won't ever know your name. Yeah, I know. Well, hopefully they know my name. Damn. Oh, you mean the crypto guy? Oh yeah, fuck that guy. You know. Or maybe crypto's going to be big in the future. Like, Rodney, one of the pioneers of crypto, you know, something like that. That'd be tight. From the people I follow that have a lot of intel, they're saying that the person was brought into it to do the job, to take him out. It's crazy. It was a pro at this. I mean, it doesn't take a pro to hit that shot. I don't think so. I mean, I think it was 200. Was it 200 yards? I mean, that's a long shot, you know, but I know a lot of guys who can hit that shot. And if you're at least decently trained or used a rifle before, you can hit that shot, especially center mass. And yeah, I didn't hit center mass, but maybe they were aiming for center mass, you know? So, but guys, that's the stream today. Life is precious. Enjoy, you know, just value it while we still have it, you know? So, you know, remembering the day, obviously remembering 9/11, remembering Charlie Kirk, you know, I'll keep you guys posted on the crypto news. Make sure to tap in tomorrow, guys. I'll send you off. Is today Thursday or Wednesday? Today's Thursday, right? I'll send you off into your weekend with some crypto news, guys. Love y'all. Peace.